Hi, I'm John, and we're here looking at the N0 noise, sample and hold and oscillator module. Here the output is patched to the frequency modulation input of a VCO, and if we listen, we can hear those traditional sample and hold sounds. The first row of controls on this module is the distribution. This is adjustable here on the left from a uniform distribution all the way fully clockwise to a Gaussian type distribution. The second set of controls here is the frequency of the clock, which is doing the sampling, and the last one is a low pass filter or slew rate limiter, which is applied after the clock has sampled the incoming waveform. Here we've set up the incoming waveform to be tied to the internal noise source. But the noise source is also available as a continuous output without the gating. Along with providing sample and holds, the extreme range of speeds available for the clocking of the sample allow this to go up way into audio rate and beyond. Which can make for some pitched noise effects. The frequency controls both the frequency of the clock, and the filter tracks the frequency of the clock. So if we listen again to it as an LFO, the filter at the moment is as fast as possible. And if we bring the filter and now that will track the speed of the LFO. Maintaining a constant energy output no matter the frequency. Standalone, it can be selected between the input sources for the sampling. This is used by the zoom switch and pressing the blue button. With the zoom switch enabled for zoomed in, it selects the internal noise source. Without zoom, it selects the input source, and with zoom out, it selects an internal square wave oscillator. Using the filter, that square wave oscillator can be filtered down into a sine wave, or using the slew rate limiter it can be filtered into trapezoidal or triangular type waveforms. This module will also decode MIDI and can be set to track the external MIDI input signals. In the square wave mode, this will also track 1 volt per octave CVs for sequencing. If we start a MIDI sequencer going here, and press the button whilst zooming in, this tracking can be used to good effect when sampling an external signal. If we sample an external oscillator here, because it's tracking the pitch of the oscillator, this effectively sets a ratio of the number of samples to break that oscillator down into. So you can take a sawtooth oscillator blue button also selects between the slew and low pass filter rates, and the black button selects between a sample and hold or a track and hold. The final input here is a trigger input, which can be used to manually trigger a sample and hold event or synchronize the LFO to external signals.